Coming up on Mountain News this morning, an Eastern Kentucky organization aims to get people affected by historic flooding back on their feet and into their homes. And a nonprofit here in our region continues to provide hot meals to give people the energy they need while they recover.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning to you, man. I guess we're going back in time with that open. All righty. Well, good morning. It's Wednesday. I'm Dakota Makris. Let's head over to meteorologist Paige Noel for a look at our forecast. And Paige, that fog is out and about this morning.
Yeah, it's definitely thick once again, so stepping out the door, just be cautious of that. Likely sticking around at least for the next few hours, but it's pretty thick out there, and it's a little bit on that cooler side. I thought it was a little chilly when I stepped out earlier this morning. It's 61 in Pikeville, and you could definitely see that thicker fog over the city of Pikeville on this Pikeville Medical Center camera. And Pikeville not the only one dealing with the fog. Definitely seeing it here in Hazard to Leslie County, down towards Harlan, Bell, and now even parts of Knox and Whitley. So right along that Kentucky-Tennessee line dealing with that thicker fog. And of course up towards Johnson, Magoffin, Lawrence, Martin, and then over towards parts of Wayne, Logan, and Mingo County in West Virginia. And we're going to kind of see it, I think, actually get a little bit worse between 6 and 7 o'clock this morning. By 7, that's typically when we're dealing with some of the worst of that fog. But as that sun continues to rise, we'll start to see it dissipate and should get a whole lot better between that 9 and 10 o'clock hour. Temperatures near 63 in Hazard to Jackson, 61 London, 50s. 59 Williamsburg to 58 Monticello, so it is a little bit on the cooler side. We are going to warm up today and get even warmer heading into the next few days. I'll have a look at that 7-day forecast coming up.
All right, Paige, thank you. Almost 3 weeks after historic flooding impacted our area, we still do not know the total number of homes and businesses damaged or destroyed. The search also continues for 2 missing women over in Breathitt County. Crews are still out looking for Vanessa Baker and Nancy Cundiff. They were both swept away in floodwaters in the Lost Creek community. The death toll remains at 39. Progress is being made on several fronts. Only a few customers are still without power, but about 4,400 water outages remain, and many are still under boil water advisories. 56 state and county bridges will have to be replaced, and 52 will need repairs. Debris removal is also underway in several counties. Well, some people in Breathitt County are still in tents near their homes as they figure out their next steps. Water covered one man's home and tossed his furniture around. Now he's in a tent on his cousin's property. Unsure of how much longer he'll call the tent home, hoping he's somewhere else before winter. Another man, Larry Jacobs, had several feet of water in his home. At 62 years old, sleeping on the ground is hard on the many health problems he has. Unsure of how much longer he can continue living like this.
I've been rolling out of bed and crawling out here to this refrigerator, and then use the refrigerator to prop myself, to raise myself up. It's hard.
They have contacted FEMA and are waiting to see what assistance they'll be able to receive. Well, many state and national organizations have stepped up to provide aid to flood victims in the last 2.5 weeks. And now, one Eastern Kentucky organization is doing what it can to assess a different need of these people. Arlissa Williams has the story.
Jackson native Chelsea Strong Dunn was at work when floodwater hit her home.
And then whenever I pulled up back here, my home was already basically flooded. So I just jumped out and ran to my home to try to save my dog.
Strong Dunn went through flood water to save things from her parents' home and save her dog before waiting on her husband to return home, all while 9 months pregnant.
Once he made it here, he completely panicked and would not let me back around the water. So he made multiple trips, saving all of our neighbors and our kayaks. So we really wasn't able to save anything like of ours, but we saved our neighbors.
Left without a livable home, the nonprofit organization Aspire Appalachia stepped in to help.
We are now working to meet more mid to long-term needs, thinking along the lines of building materials and things so that folks can get back into their homes.
The organization is providing drywall, insulation, and other materials to help people repair and rebuild. Aspire Appalachia is even expected to receive help from the organization Angel Disaster Response in this mission.
They are willing to match up to $100,000 in donations. And so we're actively working to raise money, of course, to ensure that match is secured.
Helping to rebuild a home for Strong Dunn, her family, and their newest addition.
There would be no way we could do this without them. No way.
In Jackson, Alyssa Williams, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, Governor Andy Beshear says he believes FEMA is taking steps to help more flood victims in eastern Kentucky get the help they need. The agency will be calling everyone who gets denied. FEMA also launched a texting program to communicate with flood victims yesterday. FEMA will allow staff at disaster recovery centers to approve claims on site. And finally, some staff members going door to door will be able to do the same thing. The deadline to receive free help from the Crisis Cleanup Hotline is quickly approaching. People needing help with drywall, flooring, and appliance removal, fallen trees, and mold mitigation have until Friday to contact the hotline. Crisis Cleanup connects people with volunteers from local relief organizations, community groups, and faith communities. You can also call the hotline using the number you see at the bottom of your screen. Well, Kane Kitchen in Whitesburg serves 1,200 free meals daily to those recovering from flood damage or those helping out. The organization serves 3 hot meals a day to anyone who needs them. Well, we talked with a flood survivor who is cleaning up her home from damage. She says she has delivered meals to other flood victims and simply calls Kane Kitchen a blessing.
Being able to come here knowing that they have clean water, electricity, and not have to worry about going to the store to be able to buy things, it's really a blessing to be able to come here and utilize this facility.
Those with Kane Kitchen say they will continue to offer free meals until the need is met. Well, thank you so much for starting your foggy Wednesday morning with us here on Mountain News This Morning. When we come back, if you love visiting the Great Smoky Mountains to take in some beautiful views, prepare to pay a bit more for your visit next year.
And it's not too bad out there now, but we are going to start to warm up and see more of those rain and storms return. I'll have details on that coming up.
We've all